I am Danny Jacobs. I have the honor of being Executive Vice President, Provost, and Dean for the School of Medicine at the University of Texas Medical Branch. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to the 124th commencement exercises of the School of Medicine. Now, if you will stand or remain standing, please join Mr. Eric Gonzalez, a member of the class of 2016, who will lead us in singing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, and also thanks to the Chamber Brass Quartet for providing music for today's ceremony. Chaplain John Riley will now come forward for the invocation.
The 38th chapter of the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, has this to say: give doctors the honor they deserve, for the Lord gave them their work to do. Today we gather to honor the milestone of the completion of medical school and to honor these who today become our newest doctors with work to do. Let the words of the great physician and teacher Maimonides be our prayer for them. Preserve the strength of their bodies and of their souls, that they ever be ready to cheerfully help and support rich and poor, good and bad, enemy as well as friend. Illumine their minds, that they may recognize what presents itself, and that they may comprehend what is absent or hidden. Let them never be absent-minded. May no strange thoughts divert their attention at the bedside of the sick or disturb their minds in their silent labors. For great and sacred are the thoughtful deliberations required to preserve the lives and health of thy creatures. And never allow the thought to arise in them that they have attained to sufficient knowledge, but vouchsafe to them the strength, the leisure, and the ambition ever to extend their knowledge. May this and future generations be blessed with health and well-being through these doctors whom we honor today. Amen.
Well, what a wonderful day. If you're like me, I know it's a day that you'll never forget. As you go forward, we are all confident that you are well prepared to apply the knowledge and skills that you have learned to pursue lifelong learning, to serve your communities wherever they may be, to lead or follow, and most importantly, to care for others. But I imagine that the road has not been easy. I know that there have been many difficult days and some very long nights. There were probably times when you asked yourself, what am I doing here? What was I thinking? And you wondered perhaps if you'd made the right life decision. Perhaps you even thought about giving up. I suspect there were crucial moments when encouragement from a friend or a colleague helped you through a tough patch, but you have done it. Let me tell you about one of my favorite stories. So it was a bright, crisp afternoon in the fall of 1975. Through divine intervention, a adrenaline-fueled influx of pedal dexterity, or random chance, I had successfully tackled the challenging forward of the opposing team during his breakaway towards our goal. Now, if I'm going to tell you the whole story, this tackle occurred during the closing minutes of a freshman soccer match we'd already won. And in the interest of full disclosure, I will tell you the coach had only beneficently allowed me to enter in the last minute or so. I'd actually started college with the idea that I was going to compete for the starting position on the varsity team. That was until I figured out that the person who I would be eventually competing against had played goalie for the U.S. Olympic soccer team. And he played a game with which I was unfamiliar. So just after the final gun sounded, one of my teammates and soon-to-be good friends, Tony, ran on the field and he clapped me on the back and he said, "At a hop." A-T-T-A-H-O-P. It was a new expression for me, one I'd never heard before. I couldn't find it in a dictionary afterwards, and there was no internet back then. In fact, the only computers we had were teletype terminals that were in the basement of the dorms, and we used them to play and program text-based fantasy role-playing games. I looked it up this week on the internet, and I still can't find At a Hop anywhere. Now, Tony was an outstanding, brilliant student, and he was a talented soccer player from South Boston, and he was amused I didn't understand what he was talking about. So I could recite his explanation now verbatim, but I don't have enough time to do that. But the gist of his several-minute-long, erudite and learned verbal dissertation that was used to describe this colloquial expression to me ended this way. It really was meant to convey congratulations for a job well done. An extraordinary effort that might not have been expected, probably wasn't necessary, and certainly wouldn't be recorded on the official stats sheets. Like sweating in a dark suit, the responsible individual might have a warm feeling, but no one else would notice unless they were paying very close attention or were otherwise invested. Now, Tony was certainly watching from a distance. He was watching carefully, and I certainly greatly appreciated his acknowledgement. So folks, At a Hop, congratulations, you have done it. By the end of today's commencement, you will have successfully completed medical school. No doubt your efforts were extraordinary, much was expected of you, and many, if not all of your exertions were necessary, but like Tony, even if we, your faculty, were not directly on the playing field with you, we have been invested and we have been watching carefully. So again, class of 2014, At a Hop. There are equally, if not more formidable challenges ahead. Medicine is changing. There are scientific, cultural, social, technological, and political factors affecting patient care and research that were only recently unimaginable. Today and tomorrow's complex world with its social and technological transformations will demand much from you. Despite these evolutionary and revolutionary changes, it will still be our obligation, our duty to provide patients with the very best care possible by any means necessary. So I was introduced to At a Hop's other meeting later in my freshman college year as our soccer season was ending. If we won this game, we were going to be the best team in our conference. The score was tied in our final game with 1 half to play. So as the team was approaching the field, Tony yelled, "At a hop, guys." He meant this time that we were to proceed intently and with a sense of urgency because there was a difficult challenge ahead of us. There are difficult tasks ahead of you, but I'm confident that you will meet those challenges. Go forward with gusto. Congratulations and enjoy this celebration with your family and friends. It's now my pleasure and honor to introduce Dr. David Callender, President of the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston. We're honored that President Callender is here with us today to preside over our commencement and confer our degrees. Callender?
Thanks, sir.
You just got to say hello. I was just stepping through. Okay, I now get to introduce several members of our School of Medicine's executive leadership team who are here today. Dr. Ainsworth, I think, is here. Oh, there he is, thank you. Dr. Ainsworth is Vice Dean for Academic Affairs and Professor of Internal Medicine. Dr. Goodwin is here, is Vice President, Chief Research Officer. Dr. Mahan serves as Associate Vice President of Communications, Recruitment, and Special Projects. Dr. Mahan, raise your hand, thank you. Dr. Martin serves as Associate Vice President for Student Services, thank you. Dr. Rex McCallum is our Vice President and Chief Physician Officer. Thank you. So please, and one final thing. I want to make sure that we acknowledge all of our chairs who are here with us today. They are also part of our very important leadership team. So please join me in recognizing these fine leaders. The mace that you noticed in the commencement procession bears the seal of the University of Texas and signifies the power and authority vested in the institution. This year, the mace is entrusted to the care of the Senior Faculty Marshal, Dr. Linda Phillips, who is Professor in Chief of our Division of Plastic Surgery and holds the Truman G. Blocker Jr. MD Distinguished Professorship. Our Chief Faculty Marshals this year are Dr. Judith Aronson, who is Professor in our Departments of Pathology, Microbiology, and Immunology. She holds the L. Clark Stout Junior Professorship in Anatomic Pathology, and she's a scholar in our John P. McGovern Academy of Auxiliary Medicine. Our other Chief Faculty Marshal is Dr. Christine Guglielza, who is Professor in our Departments of Surgery and Pediatrics. She holds the Rose Centennial Chair in General Surgery and is also a scholar in our John P. McGovern Academy of Auxiliary Medicine. Joining Drs. Aronson and Guglielza are our other faculty marshals. These are Dr. Ann Fry, who is Professor in the Department of Internal Medicine and Assistant Dean for Educational Development. Dr. Jason Glenn, who is Assistant Professor in our Departments of the Institute of Medical Humanities and Preventative Medicine and Community Health. Dr. Scott Lee, who is Associate Professor in our Department of Internal Medicine. We also have Dr. Todd Mazel, who is Assistant Professor in our Department of Neurology. Dr. Susan McCammon, who is Associate Professor in our Department of Otolaryngology, and she holds the Jehu Matthew Robinson Distinguished Professorship in Otolaryngology. I'd also like to recognize our faculty marshals, Dr. Victor Reyes, who is Professor in our Departments of Pediatrics, Microbiology, and Immunology. Please also recognize Dr. Gayana Silva, who is Professor in our Department of Pediatrics. I would like to acknowledge Dr. Anish Bardwaj, who is Assistant Dean for Faculty Affairs. And last but not least, please recognize Dr. Ronald Tilton, who is Professor in our Departments of Internal Medicine and Ophthalmology. Please join me in applause. Now I get to invite Dr. Callender up for his welcome remarks.
See, I was just so excited to speak to you guys this morning. The commencement is so much fun. It's my great pleasure to welcome everyone today and to express congratulations to our graduates, to their families and friends. Obviously, this is a marvelous day of celebration for all of us as we see our UTMB medical students fulfilling their dreams to become physicians. Graduates, today you will become alumni of the UTMB School of Medicine, joining countless colleagues who have dedicated their lives to hope and healing. And of course, like others who came before you, you have achieved your goals through hard work, dedication, and determination. And certainly you will use the new skills that you've learned here to begin a career of service to others. We believe that you leave here with a medical education that is second to none. Our dedicated and distinguished faculty members have prepared you well, not only to provide the best possible care to your patients, but also by inspiring a desire for lifelong learning that can guide you to become a leader in your field. Now, as a physician, you will have the privilege to change lives. You will have a chance to collaborate with outstanding colleagues to help promote and improve health for patients across this country and even around the world. Some of you will even help foster new discoveries and approaches that will impact patient care for years to come. No matter the path you choose as a physician, the faculty and I look forward to hearing of your future successes as leaders in healthcare. I am confident that many of you will follow in the footsteps of distinguished UTMB alumni who have been recognized for their service and leadership, just like our Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumni Award recipients who will be recognized a little bit later today. But most importantly, all of you will live your calling to improve the health and lives of others, and you will know the personal satisfaction that comes from making a difference in the lives of those we serve. As you enter the next phase of your medical career, the faculty and I encourage you to always act with integrity and to have at heart the best interest of your patients and their loved ones. Don't be afraid to think big. Your creative and innovative ideas can and will have a positive impact in the ever-evolving healthcare environment. Serve with compassion, strive to remain lifelong learners, and always seek to advance your knowledge and the impact it has on others. Congratulations on your success to date, and heartfelt best wishes for the journey ahead as you live out your passion in UTMB's mission to improve health for the people of Texas and around the world. We know you will make UTMB proud by being the absolute best you can be.
Thank you, Dr. Callender. I would now like to recognize the parents, spouses, family members, and friends who helped make this day possible for our graduates. Class of 2014, please join me in thanking your supporters here today. And now for your extended family at UTMB, the faculty. We are all indebted to the members of the faculty whose support is crucial to the success of our students. Our faculty members are at the core of what makes UTMB a unique learning community. We're fortunate to be home to some of the world's top scholars, scientists, and clinicians who work tirelessly to ensure that our students succeed. Our faculty have faithfully served our students, instilling in them the social, moral, and ethical obligations of the profession. Please join me again in recognizing the members of the faculty. Now, class of 2014, you will be officially entering an important family, the UTMB alumni family. It's our hope that you will stay connected to your alma mater. Our alumni are a distinguished group who are passionate in their efforts to facilitate a rewarding educational experience for our students. On behalf of the UTMB alumni, Dr. Deborah Fuller, president of the UTMB School of Medicine Alumni Association, will now come forward. Dr. Fuller?
Good morning. I'm Dr. Deborah Fuller, class of 1984, and president of the School of Medicine Alumni Association. I am here today to congratulate you all and to let you know that we are proud to welcome the class of 2014 to an alumni family that spans Texas and the nation. You're joining a proud tradition of graduates that began in 1891. Since that time, we've granted more than 13,800 medical degrees and trained more physicians than any other Texas medical school. I urge you never to lose sight of what is best for your patients and to remain a member of the community of medicine. As students, your Alumni Association has provided you with your white coats and Honor Council pins, sponsored your match day reception, provided student scholarships, mentoring opportunities, and funded numerous student-driven initiatives. Today, I'm honored to provide you with your first year's membership to the School of Medicine Alumni Association, complimentary. The Alumni Association provides opportunities for alumni and friends to stay connected to UTMB through communications, programs, and services that foster a lifetime relationship with the University of Texas Medical Branch. I encourage you to pay it forward by continuing your membership next year and become an engaged member of the Alumni Association to ensure the mission of the School of Medicine continues to flourish. Texas is the fastest growing state in the nation. The number of physicians per 100,000 Texas population, however, ranks in the lowest 10% in the nation. Healthcare reform is fundamentally changing the way medicine will be practiced in the future. Not all of that is bad, however. Reimbursement for medical services is also changing dramatically. Please stay involved with your local medical society, with the Texas Medical Association, and with your specialty practice society so that you will be informed and, moreover, stay close to your School of Medicine Alumni Association. Staying engaged at these levels can assure that you stay informed about medicine's changes, about continuing medical education opportunities, and about the political currents that either improve or threaten the practice of medicine. Once again, I congratulate the class of 2014 on reaching this important milestone in your lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fuller. We will now recognize students who have achieved special honors. Dr. Michael Ainsworth, Vice Dean for Academic Affairs, will present the William N. and Ida Zen Alpha Omega Alpha Award. Dr. Ainsworth.
The William N. and Ida Zen Alpha Omega Alpha Award Scholarship Fund was established by Mr. William N. Zen of Galveston in 1955. The purpose of the endowment is to award a grant to the graduating student in the School of Medicine showing the highest scholarly and intellectual attainment. It is with great pleasure that I present the 2014 Alpha Omega Alpha Award to the graduating student with the highest cumulative grade point average at the end of 4 years of study. Would Sean Mark Pascal please come forward to receive this award? I would now like to introduce Ms. Jennifer Coben, Senior Class President, who will present the James W. Powers Memorial Award and the Gold-Headed Cane Award. Ms. Coben.
The James W. Powers Memorial Award honors a teacher of clinical subjects who, by his example and instruction, has made an outstanding contribution to the central task of the University of Texas Medical Branch at Galveston, the creation of physicians capable of practicing both the art and the science of medicine. The graduating class in the School of Medicine selects the recipient. The 2014 recipient is Dr. Bernard M. Carnath, Professor, Department of Internal Medicine, William Osler Scholar, John P. McGovern Academy of Oslerian Medicine, and the UTMB School of Medicine alumnus, class of 1994. Dr. Carnath, please come forward. The Gold-Headed Cane Award was established on the campus of the University of Texas Medical Branch in 1960 by the late Dr. Charles T. Stone, a 1915 UTMB alumnus and longtime chairman of the university's Department of Internal Medicine. As president of the fourth-year class, it is an honor to participate in this ceremony. You will find the story of the Gold-Headed Cane printed in the program. This award is given to bring the art of medicine more prominently to the attention of the students, and is given to that student who, in the opinion of his or her peers, best exemplifies the qualities of the practice of the art of medicine. Will the 5 finalists please come forward as their names are called? Sean Patrick Kelly. Nikhil Koshi. Roxanne Lee Roddy. Danielle Faye Schwarzenberg. And Jaypreet Singh Suri. It is my pleasure to present the 2014 Gold-Headed Cane Award to Sean Patrick Kelly. Congratulations, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Ms. Coben, and congratulations to Sean, Dr. Kainath, Nikhil, Roxanne, Danielle, and Jaypreet. It's now my honor to recognize the 2014 Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award winners. The Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award is the highest honor bestowed by the School of Medicine. Honorees received a replica of O-Red at a special ceremony last night. Today, they will receive medallions bearing the likeness of Ashbel Smith. Biographies of these award winners also appear in your programs. The first honoree is Dr. Ronald Deskin. Dr. Deskin graduated with highest honors and was ranked third in his class of 150 from the UTMB School of Medicine in 1969. He was also selected to receive the Gold-Headed Cane Award. During his pediatric internship and otolaryngology residency at UTMB, Dr. Deskin served as captain in the United States Air Force Reserves and the Texas Air National Guard. Dr. Deskin started a private practice in otolaryngology at Brackenridge Hospital in Austin, Texas in 1974, and in 1982 became the first pediatric otolaryngologist in Texas in private practice. From 1990 to 1991, Dr. Deskin served as a fellow in pediatric otolaryngology at the Children's Hospital of Boston before he moved back to UTMB to serve as professor of pediatrics and otolaryngology. He was director of the pediatric otolaryngology program and vice chair of the department as well. Dr. Deskin served as president of the Society of ENT Advancements in Children and received the American Academy of Otolaryngology Honor Award in 2003. Dr. Deskin was in the founding and charter group of the American Society of Pediatric Otolaryngology and was voted multiple times as one of the best doctors in America and has been a Texas Monthly Super Doctor for the past 9 years. It's my pleasure to present the Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Ronald Deskin. Dr. Deskin? You got a picture? We gotta move up. Okay. You go first. Our next honoree receiving this award today is Dr. Ted Mitchell. Another one of our own. Dr. Mitchell graduated in 1987 from the UTMB School of Medicine. He continued with his internal medicine residency training here and served as chief resident. Dr. Mitchell also served his nation as captain in the Medical Corps in the United States Army Reserves from 1988 until 1996. He has served as president and CEO of the internationally known Cooper Clinic in Dallas and continues to serve as chairman of the board for the nonprofit branch of this organization, which houses the world's largest repository of research data on health and fitness. They have more than 100,000 patients in their registry. Dr. Mitchell was a health editor for USA Weekend from 1998 until 2010 and received 2 national awards for his work and for his medical writings. President George W. Bush appointed Dr. Mitchell to the President's Council for Physical Fitness and Sports in 2002, and he was also a member of his local school district's Health Advisory Board. In addition, Dr. Mitchell was appointed to the Texas Governor's Council on Aging and served as a trustee for the American College of Sports Medicine. Currently, Dr. Mitchell is the president of the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center, where he continues to teach medical students and residents and see patients outside of his administrative duties. It's my pleasure to present the Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Ted Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell. Our third Ashbel Smith honoree today is Dr. Peter Rojas, a member of the class of 1970. Dr. Rojas was born the 9th of first-generation immigrant parents learning English as his second language. He worked through high school and college and earned a Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Houston. After completing medical school and his surgical internship at UTMB, Dr. Rojas was called to serve his country in the United States Army Medical Corps during the Vietnam War. Upon being discharged from the military, he completed a surgical residency at UTMB and returned to his birthplace of Victoria, Texas, to begin his surgical career with the Victoria Surgical Associates, where he is now the senior partner. Dr. Rojas served on the UTM Board of Trustees of the Alumni Association for 4 years and continues to serve on the Diversity of Medical Education Committee, helping minority medical students acquire scholarships. Dr. Rojas has played a vital role in improving patient care and safety by founding the Cancer Program, the Continuing Medical Education Committee, and the Trauma Program. Through the work of the Cancer Program and Continuing Medical Education Committee, 700 new cancer cases are reviewed and over 2,000 hours of CME credit is earned by physicians and nurses each year. The Trauma Program allows injured patients to remain in Victoria for care at a Level 3 trauma center. Dr. Rojas is an excellent leader, a faithful steward, and an accomplished mentor. It is my pleasure to present the Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Peter Rojas. Dr. Rojas? Our final honoree is Dr. Michael Silva, a University of Texas at Austin graduate. Dr. Silva continued the UT tradition by attending medical school at UTMB. He is a graduate of the class of 1984. Dr. Silva credits his additional training with radiologic interventionalists to his strong foundation as a leader and his fine skills as a surgeon. These led to him being appointed as the chief of endovascular surgery at the University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey. During his 20 years away from UTMB, Dr. Silva worked at Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center and was appointed as a tenured professor and chief of both vascular surgery as well as vascular interventional radiology. Within 2 years at Texas Tech, he was named the vice chair of the Department of Surgery. The Cleveland Clinic recruited Dr. Silva to serve as chair of their Department of Vascular Surgery, where he led 28 surgical faculty members and attended to the administrative needs of 5 regional clinical sites. Dr. Silva found his way back to UTMB and was appointed director of the Texas Vascular Center, and in 2010, he was appointed chief of the Division of Vascular Surgery and Endovascular Surgery in our Department of Surgery. Dr. Silva is credited for his important work with Dr. Robert Hopeson, where they wrote and championed the CREST trial that compared carotid endarterectomy to carotid stenting. Dr. Silva continues to be a national and international advocate for this procedure. It's my pleasure again to present the Ashbel Smith Distinguished Alumnus Award to Dr. Michael Silva. Dr. Silva? I'd now like to invite Dr. Callender to introduce our commencement speaker. Dr. Callender.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobs. It is indeed a distinct pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Dr. Scott Parazynski. An expert in medicine in extreme environments, Dr. Parazynski has personally experienced some of the most extreme environments on the globe and beyond. He received his undergraduate degree in biology from Stanford University, where he also completed his medical degree, graduating with honors. He was selected to join NASA's astronaut corps while still in emergency medicine training in 1992. During his 17-year career with the space agency, he flew on 5 shuttle missions and conducted 7 spacewalks. He spent more than 8 weeks in space, which included 47 hours outside of a space vehicle. He served as personal physician to Senator John Glenn, one of the original Mercury astronauts when Senator Glenn returned to space at the age of 77. Dr. Parazynski began mountain climbing in his teens and has climbed in the Alaska Range, the Cascades, the Rockies, the Alps, the Andes, and the Himalayas. On his second attempt to scale Mount Everest, he became the first astronaut to stand on top of the world. After leaving NASA in 2008, he worked in senior leadership positions in both the aerospace and medical research industries. He has been instrumental in the development of numerous medical devices and other technologies for supporting life in extreme environments. He is also a physiologist with expertise in human adaptation to stressful environments. Dr. Parazynski, who joined us at UTMB in 2012, is Chief Medical Officer and Director of the Center for Polar Medical Operations. In this role, he oversees the medical screening and on-ice care of all personnel in the National Science Foundation's United States Antarctic program. Class of 2014, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm UTMB welcome to Dr. Scott Parazynski.
Wow, what a thrill. Well, it just goes to show that anyone can sound good on paper, but I appreciate those kind words, sir. It's a distinct honor for me to be here with you today. I felt as I was walking in today that I was looking at the future of medicine, seeing all of your bright, shiny, intelligent faces, and it's really a personal thrill for me to be here to celebrate your success and to see you off into the world as new physicians. I also feel a special kinship with each of you because I've been through the steps that you've been through. Those difficult sleepless nights on call and worrying about your patients even after you go home. And so this is the first step of many towards your path. But I didn't graduate from this wonderful institution, but I got here as soon as I could. And as Dr. Callender mentioned, I currently am the Chief Medical Officer of the Center for Polar Medical Operations, which means that I take care of people at the bottom of the planet 24/7, and it's a really exciting job. And it's amazing what takes place here at UTMB, the breadth of research and the opportunities that exist here. So it's been my great pleasure to serve here for the last 2 years and also to be on the aerospace medicine faculty for a number of years as an adjunct faculty member. But I'm going to tell you a quick funny story here. So when I told my staff that I was going to be speaking with you today, they were really excited for me, of course, and one of my deputy, actually Les, actually asked me if I'd be wearing my astronaut outfit to graduation today, to which I told him, no, first off, astronauts do not wear outfits. We wear spacesuits. Okay? So get that straight first. And secondly, it's not clear which is more comfortable, a 250-pound spacesuit that protects us from the vacuum of space or graduation regalia. And the answer, if you're curious, is a spacesuit. So if you could just humor me here for a second. I don't do a lot of social media, but yeah, I don't tweet what I had for breakfast and things like that. But for major milestones in my life, I really do like to capture big important things to me, and this is a great event. So if we could take a selfie together as a class. So. Okay, you're not smiling. Eyes open. Thank you very much. That's great. I'm going to tweet that as soon as I sit down. So you should be incredibly proud of what you've accomplished here today, and over the past 4 years, even though it's yet another step along a lifelong path of learning to benefit your patients. Proud as you might be today of yourself, I wanted to start out by talking about teamwork. It's true that you're the one who spent those long, sleepless nights in the ICU and the OR and studying for exams and so on. And it's also true that your name is the name that will appear on the diploma you're about to receive. But quite honestly, there ought to be an asterisk there to identify all the incredible selfless sacrifice of those who supported you through these years. Your faculty, your parents, your significant other, your brothers and sisters, your friends and colleagues. And so let's show our love with a round of applause for all the behind-the-scenes team. Thank you very much. I've had the good fortune to fly into space on 5 occasions and see our planet from a vantage point that very few have ever experienced. I always reflect on the fact that for each crew member aboard the shuttle, there were literally hundreds of people behind the scenes supporting us. There were flight controllers, trainers, technicians, engineers, and scientists allowing us to do our work, important work in space, safely in the most hostile, but also one of the most beautiful environments imaginable. The best day on the job ever for me was also the scariest, but perhaps for some unexpected reasons that I'll share with you. On my final space shuttle flight, we had to repair a fully energized solar panel. And the stakes were very, very high for NASA, the International Space Station program, and for me in particular, because I was floating a few inches away from this thing. The solar panel had been ripped apart by a frayed guide wire, and as a result, couldn't be fully extended or even retracted. We had to do something. Basically, it was a limp noodle hanging out there in space. And without rigidizing it, it was basically a threat for us to even undock the space shuttle. It might even damage the shuttle in a fashion similar to what happened to the Columbia, although by a very different mechanism. So we had to do something very quickly to save this array or go out and throw away a $1 billion government asset. So I was the very lucky soul tapped to stitch the panel back to health. But hundreds and hundreds of brilliant engineers and flight controllers around the world developed a bold plan to maneuver me out to the very tip of the space station, further than we had ever been before, away from the safety of our airlock, to patch it back to health. My patient had basically 100 volts of energy coursing through its veins, and I knew that all the work that the team had done up until this point, up until my role, had been done perfectly. And so I wasn't afraid of for my personal safety. My biggest concern, actually, was not letting the team down. The repair was a total success, due in no small part to each and every member of the mission team delivering their very best. And it stands as one of the great triumphs in the Space Shuttle Space Station era, basically an Apollo 13 moment, if you will. So I'd encourage you, as you go forth in your careers, in your personal and professional life, to never lose sight of the team who buoyed you to get to this point here today, and will be with you in the years ahead. The next thing I'd like to share with you is just a few thoughts about responsibility to others. You're incredibly fortunate to have the skills to heal and to counsel your patients in their times of greatest need. With these tools, you'll be rewarded, and by default, you'll be regarded as community leaders. Our former president, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, had so many inspiring things to say in his short life, but one of my favorite quotes of his really ought to be the mantra for all of us healthcare providers. He said, to those whom much is given, much is expected. We expect much of each and every one of you. As a healer, as a community leader, you have signed up for a life of service to others, placing others' needs in many cases ahead of your own. So I'll share another quick story from my unusual path through life, which somehow landed me at 24,000 feet above sea level on the side of Mount Everest. I was at Camp 3, 59 days into my expedition to climb the tallest mountain in the world, as you know, and I developed excruciating low back pain. I tried to sleep the pain away, but the pangs of sharp pain didn't allow more than 30 seconds of sleep that night. At sunup, I slowly dressed into the multiple layers of clothing and gear that you need to approach the summit, but I needed my team's help even to put my crampons on and change out my oxygen cylinder. That's how severe the discomfort was. The summit of my dreams was literally less than 24 hours away. I could see the south summit just over my right shoulder, but every movement brought excruciating pain. I took a few paces towards the summit from camp, but I soon realized that not only was I taking a gamble with my own life, I would potentially be risking the summit success of my teammates and maybe even placing them in a life or death rescue situation. This is a defining moment in my life, and I'm glad to say that I made the right decision. I turned my back on the summit that day, not knowing whether I'd ever have the chance to come back and try again. So you're going to find in life many quandaries in other forms during your professional and personal lives, but never forget your responsibility to others, the self-sacrifice that is required and is expected of you as medical professionals. Next, as an inventor, I just wanted to share a few words about innovation. I think all of us in healthcare have an opportunity and, in fact, a responsibility to innovate. Healthcare is anything but static, so keeping current with developments in medical science and keeping a curious mindset can and will advance our practice. Try to avoid the trap of, it's the way we've always done it. Why do you do it that way? Is there a better way? Can we reduce pain, improve outcomes, make the task easier, more reproducible, less costly, and so on? I think by working with your colleagues, with nursing, with medical technicians, and even your patients, and a keen eye, you can identify lots of problems worth solving in your profession. It's a target-rich environment, as we like to say. And finally, I'll just share a few words with you about tenacity. Since today is such a major milestone in your lives, with many yet to go. Climbing mountains is actually a great metaphor for the biggest challenges in our life, so I'll take you back to Mount Everest. Rope length after rope length, step after step, panting breath after panting breath, the climber has to overcome the physical elements and disregard the tiny voices in the back of our heads telling us to sit down or to turn back from the summit. Arriving at Mount Everest base camp at 17,500 feet above sea level, with 2 vertical miles still to go towards the summit, newly arrived summit aspirants not infrequently get psyched out and never even set foot on the mountain or into the Khumbu Icefall, the first stage of the climb. So what makes a successful Everest climber? In addition to climbing skill, physical preparation, and good judgment, the key is to be able to break down the path to the summit into manageable pieces. If you can only see the 11,500 feet of vertical and not one day at a time, even one rope length at a time or one step at a time, you'll be self-defeated. Thankfully, I was able to set my sights on sub-goals along the way to the top, and one of the greatest moments of my life was arriving on top of the world at 4 a.m., May 20th, 2009, just in time for the most amazing sunrise my eyes will ever see. Tenacity, all told, it took me 2 climbing seasons and 4 months away from home in the cold hypoxic Himalayas, but those things that come hardest to us in life oftentimes mean the most. And think about the tenacity that it's taken you to get to this auditorium today. So let me wrap up with this. Even though I've had a great many adventures and challenges in life, my bucket list is as full as it's ever been. I wish for each of you inspiring challenges, adventures, and rewards as you walk through life. I'd advise keeping your personal and professional bucket list primed at all times, as goals and determination lead to great rewards. Today is a major turning point among many that will follow in your lives. You'll have family milestones, internship, of course, residency, fellowship, and uncharted territory beyond. With teamwork and appreciation for all those on your team, especially your family, coworkers, and friends, with selflessness and a strong sense of responsibility for others, with an eye towards innovation and making healthcare better, and with the tenacity you've already demonstrated applied to your patients and continued learning, your future cannot be brighter. I'm excited for the many lives you'll benefit, the discoveries you'll make, and the difference you'll make in your communities and in our world. So congratulations and Godspeed to the class of 2014.
Well, thank you, Dr. Perezinski. We really appreciate those words, and thank you so much for helping put our graduates on top of the world today and start their journey appropriately. We do have a small little gift for you. It's a token of our appreciation. Thank you so much.
Very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Dr. Laurie Thomas, Associate Dean for Career Counseling, will now introduce this year's student class speaker. Dr. Thomas?
It is my pleasure to introduce our 2014 School of Medicine Commencement class speaker, Mr. Jordan Christopher Carl. Thank you. It's okay to clap. Jordan Carl received his Bachelor's of Science degree in biology from Dallas Baptist University, where he served as the president of the Dallas Baptist University Medical and Dental Association. Also, while there, he received the Dallas Baptist University Biology Honor Award and was inducted into the Alpha Chi National Honor Society. Mr. Carr received his Master's of Medical Sciences from the University of North Texas Health Science Center. And he was also honored as a United States Air Force Commissioner Officer Training Distinguished Graduate. Selected by his medical school class to deliver the class address, Mr. Carl is the recipient of the Thomas F. Nealon, MD, Endowed Award for Excellence in Surgery, the Kenneth M. Earl and Catherine Earl Gill Competitive Academic Scholarship, and the Class of 1977 Competitive Academic Scholarship. He was inducted into both the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society and the Gold Humanism Honor Society in his junior year of medical school. He was also honored with the UTMB Humanism in Surgery Award and the UTMB Excellent Award in Professionalism. He has been active in community service, including numerous weekend medical missions trips to Laredo, Texas, volunteering at St. Luke's Medical Clinic and the C.D. Doyle Clinic, and has been on 2 international medical mission trips to Lima, Peru. Mr. Carr has been named as a co-author on 2 publications and has presented several posters at scientific meetings, very notably winning Best Translational Research poster in 2011. He is also currently a research assistant working on several projects simultaneously. He has chosen general surgery for his professional future, and next month will begin his 5-year surgical residency training at the University of Texas Southwestern in Dallas. Please join me in welcoming this most extraordinarily, most talented, most gifted medical student, Mr. Carr.
Well, thank you, Dr. Thomas, for that kind introduction. And I feel a little bit inadequate. I have to follow an astronaut. That's just not even fair. That's just not even fair. It's not right. But I want to thank Dr. Callender and Dr. Jacobs and Dr. Perzinski, all the distinguished faculty, for all the support staff, our family, our friends, for being here and making this day a reality for each one of us. We would truly not be here without you all. It's a profound honor to be selected by my classmates to speak today. There are so many talented and truly exceptional people here in this class, and I'm genuinely humbled by this honor. I recall vividly the moment on match day when I heard that I'd been selected to deliver this class speech, and my immediate thought was, oh man, what have these people done? That is a terrible choice. But after the initial shock wore off and I began considering what I might speak about, I was struck. I was awed really by the diverse quality of residency programs the UTMB class of 2014 had selected. Now, just think about that, you all, my classmates, for a second. We through our accomplishments, and I don't want to brag, but this kind of day is about us, sorry. But we were able to select from an impressive residency programs covering a wide array of medical disciplines and spanning across the entire country. And as a class, we can justly be proud of our accomplishments to date. And as a school, UTMB can be proud of the impact this class will have and has had already in the years to come in the medical profession. And reflecting back on what brought us to this day, 2 words come to mind, and I'm sure it'll resonate specifically with my classmates, perhaps to the general audience as well. But the 2 words are tired and perseverance. So have you ever heard the expression, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon? And that's a great adage in many situations. Essentially, it means be measured, don't get ahead of yourself, adopt a long-term perspective. It's great. I mean, that's wonderful, but the reality is the person that said that probably never went to medical school, because medical school is an oxymoron. Essentially, it's a sprinting marathon. Legend has it that the marathon originated when Philippides ran without stopping from the Battle of Marathon to Athens. He burst into the assembly and proclaimed, "We've won!" and then promptly collapsed and died. There have been many days during our medical school experience where I'm certain, as we sprinted through the overwhelming onslaught of our daily material or clinical rotations, that we believed we would not prevail. And yet we've persevered, overcoming daily physical and emotional obstacles and pushing ourselves far beyond what we could ever have imagined possible. And today, like Pheidippides, we can proclaim we have won, and confident that our victory has prepared us for an incredible future in a field that affords us the privilege of being involved in the lives of patients at their most vulnerable as we meet complex and life-altering challenges each day. Now, the first 2 years of medical school were a significant challenge for me, I know, and I'm sure for you all as well. We came from many different backgrounds, but we came with a common denominator. We had all excelled exceptionally well in our undergraduate studies. And we thought that we'd worked hard to be accepted into medical school and that this new challenge would be an incremental step up. Well, it didn't take long to realize how diluted that notion of incremental expectation improvement was. And sure, we had some time during those first few days, first few years to spend some time on the beach, and our days were mostly our own based on the independent learning curriculum here at UTMB, which I'm very grateful for. But we were flooded daily by new and complex material that we were not only required to study, but to master. And there's a unique bond, a closeness that exists between people when they go through ordeals in life and challenges together. And we learned during those first 2 years to trust and rely on each other. Deep and lasting friendships were formed in classes, study groups, as we banded together to master the material. But unlike so many ventures in life, whether it be sports or business or whatever it may be, we were not in competition with one another. Well, for the most part. We wanted everyone to succeed and derived a sense of purpose at others' accomplishments. And we did succeed together as a group. We succeeded with constant help from our distinguished faculty. Encouragement from Samir's songs. I will say those were encouragement. And if you all don't know who Samir is, ask your graduate at the end of this, and we'll be happy to tell you about his songs. They were great. And an assist from every medical student's closest companion, caffeine. And by the end of our second year, we were tired. We were a tired group. We were exhausted by our endless preparation for step one, but we were closer as a class and no less committed to our future as physicians. And as a class, we did exceptionally well on this important milestone, and I'm convinced we drew strength from our collective experience and success during those first 2 years, and that it helped us meet the challenges of the clinical years awaiting. And then, again, entering our clinical year, we had a new common denominator. Instead of this academic excellence in undergrad, we were just exhausted. That's basically what it boiled down to. But we persevered through the long hours and the constant questioning of our attendings and residents, through the new challenges of learning how to practically become doctors. And what we did was we began to think like doctors. We began to act like doctors. We began to take vast amounts of information from patients, distill them down into cogent formats, and make a diagnosis. And then we faced the challenges of step two, and again, as a class, as a group, we performed exceptionally well. But at the end, we were still tired, and I'm pretty sure we'll always be tired. But we honed that habit of perseverance, and we knew through persistence we would overcome our fatigue and that our classmates, our friends, would be a source of encouragement to us. And now we sit here today, and I am very happy about that. We sit here, physicians, doctors, MDs, in just a few moments. And guess what? We're still tired. And I'm not talking about the type of tired that most of us are feeling because we were out at Murphy's until 2 a.m. last night. And I have a nagging feeling this entrenched tiredness will be our constant companion for the next 3 to 7 years, and far beyond that. However, I'm confident that the virtue of perseverance and dedication that carried us through these difficult times in medical school when we were studying absurd hours and working absurd hours, and this will carry us to excellence in all of our future endeavors. And so I ask you, dear classmates, as we go our separate ways, to persevere in pursuit of professional excellence. I promise, yes, as I've said many times, we will continue to be tired, for medicine is a demanding profession. But we've learned to persevere as a class and to push ourselves far beyond our physical and mental limits. And we did this for a singularly meaningful purpose, so that we will always do what we need to do, and then more for the benefit of our patients. So today, let us commit to support each other as we continue perfecting our habit of persistence. Let us run this race together with the perseverance that was refined during medical school, and let us never tire of providing the most compassionate and professional care for our patients every single day of our careers. It's been a profound honor to be tired and to persevere alongside such a stellar group of individuals, and it is my most sincere hope and confident prayer that this class will make a difference in the medical profession and the healthcare system for decades to come. as we tirelessly persevere together in our careers. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you today.
Thank you, Mr. Carl, and congratulations. And so now, class of 2014, the moment that you've worked so hard for and your family has looked forward to, the awarding of the diplomas. Dr. Linda Phillips will read the names of the graduates, and Dr. Laurie Thomas will help us present the diplomas. Now, in order for the names to be heard clearly, I ask you, if at all possible, please hold your applause, if you don't mind, until all the degrees have been conferred and the graduates return to their seats. In recognition of academic excellence, selected students will have been designated for graduation with honors. The highest 15% of the graduating class is awarded 3 levels of academic honor. Of these, the top 2% are awarded summa cum laude, the next 5% magna cum laude, and the remaining 8% cum laude. The doctoral hood to be placed on the shoulders of the graduates signifies their academic achievement. The class of 2014 has selected 4 members of the Faculty of Medicine to conduct the hooding ceremony. These faculty members, along with the faculty member who will deliver the physician's oath, were chosen by the graduating class in recognition of their outstanding contributions to education. These honors are the highest that a class can bestow. This year's faculty hooders are Dr. Michael Boyers, professor in the Department of Internal Medicine and scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Auxiliary Medicine. Dr. Bernard Carnath, professor in the Department of Internal Medicine. He holds the M. Ruth Baxter and Virgil C. Baxter Professorship in Medicine that was given by Eugenia Thocklin. He's also a scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Auxiliary Medicine. Dr. Brian Miller is professor in the Department of Neuroscience and Cell Biology, and Dr. Joan Nichols is professor in the Departments of Internal Medicine and Microbiology and Immunology. Now, will the members of the class of 2014 please stand? President Callender, as Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, I would like to present to you the candidates for the degree Doctor of Medicine. These fine individuals have satisfactorily completed the prescribed curriculum and have been certified by the Faculty of Medicine for conferring the degree Doctor of Medicine.
Thank you, Dr. Jacobs. With the authority of the University of Texas System Board of Regents, I now confer upon you the degree Doctor of Medicine, with all of the rights, obligations, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations, doctors.
Graduates, please be seated.
Will the graduates please come forward? Each graduate will have his or her picture taken as they receive the degree. These pictures will be given to them as a gift from the Dean of Medicine. You will note that some of the graduates wear a green, white, and gold-colored cord over their robes. This signifies their election to Alpha Omega Alpha, the only national honor medical society. Election to AOA is limited to the top 1/6 of each graduating class. Members are selected predominantly for academic excellence, as well as their service accomplishments and demonstrated professionalism. The Texas Alpha chapter of AOA at UTMB is the oldest chapter in Texas, founded in 1920. 3 members of the class will receive the Doctor of Philosophy degree, concurrent with the degree Doctor of Medicine today. The PhD degrees for 2 of these were recognized at the UTMB Graduate School Commencement on May 2nd. We have our first MD PhD graduate from a UT Austin and UTMB dual degree program graduating with us today as well. His PhD degree was recognized on December 22nd, 2012 at the University of Texas in Austin. These graduates will receive a special medallion presented by the director of the MD PhD combined program, Dr. Lawrence Sowers. It will be my great privilege to be the first to call each of you doctor. Dr. Sean Patrick Kelly, Gold-Headed Cane Award recipient, American Academy of Neurology Medical Student Prize for Excellence in Neurology, the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine Student Award, and the Merck Manual Award. Dr. Nikhil Koshi, Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist. Dr. Roxanne Lee Roddy, Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist, student scholar, the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine, John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine 3 Professionalism Essay Award, and the Merck Manual Award. Dr. Danielle Faye Schwarzenberg, Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist and recipient of the Tonya Johnson Memorial Award. Dr. Jaypreet Singh Suri, Gold-Headed Cane Award finalist, student scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine, hooded by his father, Dr. Mahendra S. Suri. Dr. Sean Mark Pascal, summa cum laude, the William N. and Ida Zinn Alpha Omega Alpha Award recipient, also recipient of the Campbell Family Medical Scholarship in honor of Winfield M. Campbell, Jr., MD, and student scholar in the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine. Dr. Jennifer Renee Coben, cum laude. Dr. Jordan Christopher Carl, magna cum laude. Dr. Emily Leanne Aaron. Dr. Robin Luvina Alfecci. Dr. Taylor Barrington Alloway. Dr. Daniel Aranjo, recipient of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. He will be hooded by his parents, Drs. Dario and Maria Arango. Dr. Miguel Angel Arroyo, Jr., cum laude. Dr. Arroyo completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Jeremy Charles Atkinson, magna cum laude. He will be hooded by his brother, Dr. Joshua Atkinson. Dr. Sarah Elizabeth Baker, recipient of the Hamilton Ford Award for Psychiatry and Medicine and the Merck Manual Award. She is hooded by her father, Dr. James Guy Baker. Dr. Matu Fahim Wahib Bahoum, Blocker Scholar. Dr. Bahoum received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from UTMB May 2nd in the MD-PhD combined program. He will be hooded by his parents, Dr. Fahim and Violet Bahoum. Dr. Frederica Renee Barr, who will be hooded by her sister, Dr. Bettina Barr. Dr. Adam Beardsley. Proud of you. Dr. Han Zuong Bei, cum laude. Dr. Marcus Aaron Behrens. Dr. Todd Evan Benson, Jr. Dr. Jessica Dulles Bernica, magna cum laude, recipient of Amwa's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and the Claire Donovan Medical Education Scholarship. Dr. Nina Nicole Bishop. Dr. Maren Elizabeth Beneke, cum laude. She will be hooded by her brother, Dr. Jeremy Cannell. Dr. Mitchell Wayne Beneke, summa cum laude, recipient of the Campbell Family Scholarship in honor of Winfield M. Campbell, Jr., MD, the Curtis W. Lambert Scholarship, and the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Jorge Alberto Blanco. Dr. Daniel Williams Branch, who will be hooded by his father, Dr. Charles Branch. Dr. James Robert Brand II. Dr. Jared Barr Brown. Dr. Garrett Wade Burnett. Dr. Brendan Reed Calhoun, hooded by his father, Dr. William Calhoun. Dr. Erica Renee Calmes. Dr. Israel Christopher Michael Calzada, John P. McGovern Practice of Medicine 1 Essay Award recipient in Oslerian Medicine. Dr. Jonathan Adam Canyon, Society for Academic Emergency Medicine Award winner. Dr. Miguel Harid Cano. Dr. Alexander Chase Castillo. Dr. Castillo completed the Global Health Scholars Program, participated in the Honors Research Program, graduating magna cum laude, recipient of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award and the Interprofessional Education Scholar. Dr. Hoi Chung Chan, cum laude. Dr. Raj Kiran Chavla. Dr. Andrew Chu. Dr. Caleb Sung Che. Dr. Cho Yin Yvonne Chung. Dr. Chung completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Seth Allen Clark. Dr. Clark completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Jeffrey Allen Conyers, cum laude. Dr. Yoon Andrew Coronado. Dr. Bronson Lamont Crawford. Dr. Kara Elizabeth Crouch, summa cum laude, Amwa's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation recipient and the Isabella H. Brackenridge Scholarship. Dr. Dimple Patel Desai, who will be hooded by her husband, Dr. Soham Desai. Dr. Claire Jeanette Detweiler, cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation, the Mavis P. Kelsey Scholar, and the L. Clark Stout Jr. Award for Excellence in Pathology. She will be hooded by her parents, Drs. Jeff and Rosemary Detweiler. Dr. Tai Lin Win. Dr. Ryan Andrew DiGiovanni, who will be hooded by his father, Dr. David DiGiovanni. Dr. Tiffany Doan. Dr. Leanna Michelle Dolson, cum laude, hooded by her father, Dr. George Dolson. Dr. Julia Marie Dong. Dr. Vivek Peter Dubé. Dr. Dustin Allen Dwiggins. He completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Melissa Marie Edler. Dr. Allison Josette Edwards. Dr. Jason Kelly Edwards, cum laude. Dr. Joseph Paul Erickson. Dr. Casey Amber Escobar Flores. Dr. Michael Brazos Fielder. Dr. Fielder completed the Rural Health Scholars Program. Dr. Rachel Ann McCrary Fielder. Dr. Megan Elizabeth Finke. Dr. Tina Farnaz Faruzbacht, who will be hooded by her brother, Dr. Farhud Faruzbacht. Dr. Abel Moreno Flores. Dr. Flores completed the Rural Health Scholars Program. Dr. Monica Wardwell Fogarty, who will be hooded by her husband, Dr. James Fogarty, Jr. Dr. Aaron Zachary Garza. Dr. Garza completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Brianna Claudia Garza. Dr. Charles Amir German. Dr. David Andrew Gerstenkorn. Dr. Michael Anthony Gillespie. Dr. Mark James Glenser. Dr. Cody Ryan Gomez, Lefebvre Scholar in Gerontology. Dr. Jose Rolando Gonzalez, Jr., hooded by his sister, Dr. Alexina Durgan. Dr. Madeline Faye Griffin, cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation, the William H. Nash, MD, Endowed Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology, and the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Kelly Xenia Gross, magna cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and the Merck Manual Award. Dr. Daniel Allen Hale, the Donald Duncan Memorial Scholarship in Anatomy winner. Dr. Jeremy Thomas Hall. Dr. Joshua Spicer Harden, cum laude, hooded by his wife, Dr. Olga Harden. Dr. Ashley Renee Harris, hooded by her parents, Drs. Bernard Harris and Dr. Catherine Dorsey. Dr. Samir Syed Hassan, student scholar, the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine. Dr. Pamela Page Hayes. Dr. Dar Mikkel Hines, cum laude, Blocker Scholar. Dr. Hines received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from UTMB May 2nd in the MD-PhD combined program. Dr. Philip Ryan Hendley. Dr. Castell Bradley Hibbert. Dr. Julia Alexandra Heiner. Dr. Kara Laurie Howe. Dr. Jennifer Milese Hurst. Dr. Latasha Renee Irving. Dr. Catherine Ann Israel, magna cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and the Merck Manual Award. She is hooded by her father, Dr. Robert Israel. Dr. Robert Joseph Jackson, recipient of the Melvin H. Schreiber Award for Radiology Excellence. Dr. Sonam Juggi. Dr. Aisha Jain, hooded by her father, Dr. Ashok Jain. Dr. Sheila Zara Jalalat. Dr. Jalalat participated in the Honors Research Program, graduating cum laude, is a recipient of the Ivan Bruce Memorial Award and the Edgar B. Smith Endowed Scholarship in Dermatology. Dr. Alan Nicholas Jarzembek. Dr. Kristen Wheeler Jarzembek. Dr. Aveline Pascual Jerome. Dr. William August Klingsporn. Dr. Mallory Brooke Kent. Dr. Stephen Michael Kent. Dr. Elise Samantha Kornblau, magna cum laude. Anne was Glasgow Reuben Achievement Citation recipient, hooded by her parents, Dr. Stephen Kornblau, UTMB alumnus, Dr. Abby Berenson, UTMB faculty. Dr. Satoru Kudause, cum laude. Dr. Kudause participated in the Honors Research Program and graduated summa cum laude. He is the L. Clark Stout Jr. Award recipient for excellence in pathology. Dr. Cale Anton Kuster. Dr. Hussein Aslam Ladani. Dr. Ashley Renee Lamb. Dr. Julieta La Roca. Dr. DeAndrea Janelle Levine. Dr. Sejong Lee. Dr. Jean Y. Liu, magna cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Reuben Achievement Citation and the William L. Marr Award in Medicine. Dr. Michael Adam Long. Dr. Juan Javier Lopez de Alda. Dr. Joshua David Lord. Dr. Delfino Esteban Lorenzo. Dr. Carly Marie Mabry. Dr. Victoria Nicole Maldonado. Dr. Aneta Malay. Dr. Martina Alejandra Martinez. Dr. Valina Camille Martinez Sellers. Dr. Samuel Eli Mathis. Dr. Lexanne Garnett Moni, recipient of Hambrock McGannity Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Marianne Ijeoma Mbaka. She participated in the Honors Research Program and graduated cum laude. Dr. Paul Kent McGahey II, recipient of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award, hooded by his father, Dr. Paul McGahey. Dr. Sterling Shannon McKissick. Dr. Catherine Benvenu McPherson. Dr. Nabil Ahmed Mekki. Dr. Jose Alejandro Michel. Dr. Brittany Chantel Miles. Dr. Christina Shante Mills. Dr. Mills participated in the Honors Research Program and graduated magna cum laude. Dr. Catherine Day Mitchell, hooded by her sister, Dr. Christy Mitchell, UTMB alumnus. Dr. Domingo Molina IV, Stepsovich Scholar, hooded by his brother, Dr. Darren Molina. Dr. Alejandro Mora. Dr. James Ernesto Murray. Dr. Aryan Nezamabadi. Dr. Tu Dan Win Win, hooded by her sister, Dr. Tam Dan Win, UTMB alumnus. Dr. Ryan Jordan Nye, Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award recipient. Dr. Hannah Wilson O'Donohoe. Dr. Christopher Chimaobi Ogayo, hooded by his brother and UTMB alumnus, Dr. Kevin Ogayo. Dr. Oluwabukola Christiana Olatubosun. Dr. Chasey Ikuogi Omer. Dr. Gabriel Carlos Ortiz Farala. Dr. Anand Padmanabha. Dr. Padmanabha is magna cum laude, recipient of the George Edward Longshee Scholarship, the John P. Govern Practice of Medicine III Professionalism Essay Award, the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence, and will be hooded by his father, Dr. V. M. Padmanabha. Dr. Pooja Virendra Patel. Dr. Sunny Bharath Patel. Dr. Trisha Gentilal Patel, hooded by her sister, Dr. Abhilasha Patel, UTMB alumnus. Dr. Vikas Vishnubai Patel, hooded by his brother, Dr. Vishal Patel. Dr. Jordan Michael Payne. Dr. David M. Pearson. Dr. Evan Dustin Perez. Dr. Allison Carol Petrini. Dr. Petrini completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Sheila Renee Pinkston, recipient of the Benny O. White, MD, and Irene C. White Presidential Scholarship. Dr. Philip Anderson Pippin, recipient of the W.D. and Laura Nell Nicholson Award in Family Medicine. Dr. Ronald Andre Pitt. Dr. Mallory Ann Preto. Dr. Nikunj Arun Rana. Dr. Tiffany Masters Redfern. Dr. Adam Daniel Rhodes. Dr. Jennifer Rivas. Dr. Rivas completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Courtney Nicole Roberts, summa cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and the Joanna Blumel Memorial Scholarship. Dr. Jesus Rodriguez. Dr. Vanessa Claudette Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Cameron Parker Lockamy Rogers, cum laude. Dr. Leslie Michelle Rogers. Dr. Lindy Sky Ross, magna cum laude. Dr. Ross participated in the Honors Research Program, graduating magna cum laude. She received AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation, the Thomas W. Fries Memorial Award for Excellence in Dermatology, and the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Mata Rohani, recipient of the Hambrock McGannity Award in Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Amanda Salih. Dr. Jessica Rose Schenkup, recipient of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. Dr. Scott Michael Schechter, magna cum laude, recipient of the Edward Randall Medal for Academic Excellence. Dr. Tesneem Mahmood Shagroni, cum laude. Dr. Gaurav Sunny Sharma, hooded by his sister, Dr. Silky Patel, UTMB alumnus. Dr. Yolan Shah. Dr. Henry Herchung Shao. Dr. Chiang-Won Shin. Dr. Shin completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Amar Puri Singh, hooded by Sister Dr. Pooja Singh, UTMB alumnus, and Father UTMB alumnus Dr. Harban Singh. Dr. Danielle Patrice Smith. Dr. Stephen Douglas Smith. Dr. Tyler William Snedden. Dr. Blake Reed Sonny, recipient of the Division of Emergency Medicine Student Award, the John P. McGovern Academy of Oslarian Medicine Award for Excellence in Basic Sciences or Humanities, hooded by his mother, Dr. Starr Borden. Dr. Jaden Allen Spencer. Dr. Sasha Ann Still. Dr. Adrian Paul Schubert. Dr. Nilima Sukhavasi, recipient of the Hambrook McGannity Award for Obstetrics and Gynecology, hooded by her father and mother, Drs. Sambrasiva Rao Sukhavasi and Dr. Uma Sukhavasi. Dr. Aisha Jihad Suleiman. Dr. Yamin Sun. Dr. Paul Andre Sundberg. Dr. Nadeem Tajuddin. Dr. Tug Mark Tanovan. Dr. Gregory Teroyan. Good catch. Dr. William Edward Townsend, magna cum laude, recipient of the Best Original Essay for Skin Diseases Depicted in Cinema and the William Todd Midget Scholar. Dr. Rebecca Sue Tiemann. Dr. Tiemann completed the Rural Health Scholars Program. Dr. William James Tom, Walker Scholar. Dr. Tom received the Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Texas, Austin on December 12, 2012 in the UT Austin UTMB MD PhD dual degree program. Dr. Don Lam T. Tran. Dr. True Tran. Dr. Trevor Wade Tumlinson. Dr. Gabriella Paulette Tuttrup. Dr. Tuttrup completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Alessandro Valverde. Dr. Julian Andrew Vellucci. Dr. Juan Jose Vizcaína. Dr. Brett James Wakefield. Dr. Samuel Joseph Wallum, cum laude, recipient of the History of Dermatology Award. Dr. Dominique Dianca Washington. Dr. Kristen Danielle Williams. Dr. Lauren Michelle Williams, cum laude, recipient of AMWA's Glasgow Rubin Achievement Citation and Distinguished Student Award in Pediatrics. Dr. Jake Leff Wilson, magna cum laude. Dr. Wilson completed the Global Health Scholars Program. Dr. Benjamin James Wyan. Dr. Lauren Lan Woolbert, who will be hooded by her father, Dr. Samuel Woolbert, and sister, Dr. Ashley Woolbert. Dr. Chester Chen Wu. Dr. Aaron John Weibel. Dr. Neil Jiajan Yang, recipient of the Herman A. Barnett Memorial Award. Dr. Nilufar Yari, hooded by her mother, Dr. Nazanin Musavi. Dr. Michael Francis Yip, recipient of the Donald Duncan Memorial Scholarship in Anatomy and the Texas chapter of the American College of Emergency Physicians Award. Dr. Ashkan Michael Zand. Dr. Zand completed the Bilingual Health Scholars Program. Dr. Stephen Williams Zhang. Congratulations.
Hello? Sorry, thank you. Dr. Cheryl Vianney, Assistant Professor in the Department of the Institute of Medical Humanities, Director of the UTMB Clinical Ethics Consultations Service, and faculty sponsor for the Military Medical Student Association, will lead this year's military commissioning ceremony. Dr. Vianney, will you please come forward?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and graduates. Welcome to the 14th Annual Military Commissioning Ceremony. I am Dr. Cheryl Vianney, faculty sponsor for the Military Medical Student Association. At this time, we will begin our promotion and commissioning ceremony. The commissioning ceremony is a time-honored tradition that signifies a new officer joining the profession of arms. This ceremony is the visible transformation from student to officer, as the commencement ceremony is a recognition of the transformation from student to physician. The oath of office is administered to the new officer, and they swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. As such, each newly commissioned officer becomes an agent of the executive branch of the government appointed by the President. The pinning of the rank is a visible sign of this appointment and the commitment made by the officer. These physicians will be entering the proud service of their country as a military medical officer. The military medical services provide responsive and reliable health services and influence health to improve readiness, save lives, and advance wellness in support of soldiers, sailors, and Marines, military families, and all those entrusted to our care on land, in the air, and at sea. Please give me your attention as we begin this ceremony. I invite the soon-to-be captains, Kano, McKissick, and Vellucci, to please come forward and stand at center stage. I would also like the family members and others that are going to help me promote these officers to move towards the stage. And as soon as they're commissioned, I will ask introduce you and ask you to help promotion. If the officers will raise their right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Have been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign or domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I take this obligation freely. And that I will well and faithfully discharge without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations. Dr. Cano's wife, Lisette Cano, mother, Teresa Cano, and brother, Eric Falconer, are pinning on the bars. Dr. McKissick's mother, Carol Brannon, pinned on his bars, and Dr. Felucci's parents, Sabine and Anthony Vellucci, assisted him in his promotion. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Captains Cano, McKissick, and Vellucci. I invite the soon-to-be captains Carl, Henley, and Rogers to please come forward. And their families can also come forward. We'll let you assist in their bars in just a moment. If you'll stand towards the middle, they take better pictures there. Thank you. Officers, will you raise your right hands and state after me. I state your name. Having been appointed an officer in the United States Air Force, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. Dr. Carr, Captain Carl, is having his promotion bars provided by his wife Rachel Carr and his parents Deborah and Brad Carl, Dr. Henley's wife, Amanda Henley, will pin on his bars, and Drs. Rogers' parents, Janet Rogers, and Command Sergeant Major Butch Rogers, U.S. Army retired, will pin on her bars. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce Captains Carl, Henley, and Rogers. At this time, I'm going to direct our brass quartet to play a medley of the military anthems. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Vianney. Will the doctors please rise? Yeah, now's the time for the applause. Thank you. Dr. Bernard Carnath, professor in the Department of Internal Medicine and the holder of the M. Ruth Baker and Virgil Baxter Professorship in Medicine, will administer the physician's oath to the graduating class. The gavel being used is made from the wood of the oriental plane tree under which Hippocrates is said to have taught on the island of Kos. It is a gift of the late Dr. Robert Cherry, class of 1926. Dr. Carnath?
Doctors, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear by whatever I hold most sacred. That I will be loyal to the profession of medicine and just and generous to its members. That I will lead my life and practice my profession in uprightness and honor. That into whatsoever house I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick, to the utmost of my power, holding myself far aloof from wrong, from corruption, from the tempting of others to vice. That I will exercise my profession solely for the cure of my patients, and will give no drug, perform no operation, for for a criminal purpose, even if solicited, far less suggested. That I will deal truthfully with my patients, respecting their autonomy. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things do I swear. And now, should I be true to this, my oath, may prosperity and good repute be ever mine. The opposite, should I prove myself forsworn. Congratulations, doctors.
Congratulations. Will the audience please stand and join Mr. Eric Gonzalez in singing The Eyes of Texas?
The eyes of Texas are upon you all the livelong day. The eyes of Texas are upon you. You cannot get away. Do not think you can escape them at night or early in the morn. The eyes of Texas are upon you till Gabriel blows his horn.
Before I ask Chaplain Riley to come up with the final benediction, I'd like to remind you of a special event following the ceremony. This is the Dean reception for graduates, their families, and friends, as well as faculty. It's going to be held on the Floral Ballroom, which is located on the second floor of the Convention Center. There are signs outside that can help direct you to the escalators that will lead to the reception. I hope to see you there. Following the benediction, the audience is asked to remain seated until the faculty and graduates have recessed. Chaplain Riley, please.
So then, may your work as a physician not be done in the service of self alone, but for the common good. May you be blessed with patience and passion, with discernment and compassion, along with the courage to persevere in difficult times, that all those whose lives you touch will know the grace of healing and the peace of hope. Amen.
Amen.